This is 91.3 FM, WCUW in Worcester, Massachusetts, with a recorded interview with actor Tony Moran, best known for playing Michael Myers in the original Halloween, directed by John Carpenter and written by Deborah Hill back in the 1978. Thank you for coming on the show with us, Tony.
Thank you for having me.
Tony, what is... So we get it out of the way. What is the number one question you always get asked about regarding Halloween?
I'd say the number one is, how is it working with Jamie Lee Curtis?
Okay, how was it working with Jamie Lee Curtis?
It was wonderful. She was back then.
She was nobody back then.
She was just a really, down to earth, really nice person, and kind of wild and stuff, and great sense of humor and all that. She was just really great. Really great.
Now, between you and the other other known actor who played Michael Myers in the movie, that's Nick Castle, right?
Actually, there was, I think, a total of maybe, I know for sure 5, but maybe 6 people that wore the mask.
Who are the other people who play Michael Myers in the movie?
Well, they didn't play Michael Myers, they played The Shape.
The Shape.
Like, Nick Castle didn't get credit for playing Michael Myers, he got credit for playing The Shape. Deborah Hill wore the mask once. There was a stunt guy. There was Tommy Lee Wallace did the closet scene. John Carpenter was supposed to have worn the mask. And a couple people just on set would put on the mask, I think, too.
How come so many people played it at once? Is it because of how low budget it was?
Yeah, because of low budget and whoever's available to put the mask on, it's, whatever, Because, low budget movies, independent movies, everybody's doing a lot of different things. They don't have just one job, they have a lot of things they have to do.
What if, when people come up to you at conventions and they ask you, what scenes in the movie were you, are you specifically in compared to the other people who wore the mask? Which scenes do you point out to them to have them watch?
Well, I started with the choking scene all the way down to the end, but I didn't do the stunt off the balcony. A stunt guy did that.
Any other memorable scene in the film that you are, besides the unmasking, specifically for?
Not memorable, no.
Why do you think the longevity of Halloween has lasted like it has, and they continue to do more and more sequels with it, and it hasn't like just completely, faded into obscurity with, what's happened with the character over the years?
Well, that movie was, it was like, Hitchcock's Psycho was a perfect storm, Halloween was like a perfect storm. The music, the faceless kind of mask, the babysitting thing, the story, all of that. It's just everything, about it. It just like it was a perfect storm, and the mystery about Michael Myers and stuff, and he's just a regular guy.
Well, I wouldn't definitely call him a regular guy.
That was the whole deal when she pulls the mask off and shows my face. I'm just like this normal guy. I wasn't like some monster underneath or anything like that. You know what I mean?
I don't think I'd ever call him a normal guy. I mean, he killed his sister when he was a kid.
A normal-looking guy.
With your career on IMDb, there's a large gap through like the 90s and the early 2000s. What were you doing between all this time before you went back to acting?
Yeah, I left Hollywood and just kind of went underground and stuff. I got sick of it, and because I did a lot of TV work, and I just got sick of the whole Hollywood scene. So I just went underground and, lived my life.
What was it about Hollywood in general that really upset you?
It's the people. It's not like doing an independent movie. It's the people, They're just,
It was like right after Chips, that's when you pretty much disappeared.
Yeah, pretty much.
When did you start doing the convention circuit?
Late 2005. That's when I started.
So you never showed up at any of the horror conventions at all?
I never even knew about them.
Oh wow! I hear that a lot from actors who have done well-known, either incredibly successful films like Halloween or cult following films that didn't know that their there was such a huge fan base until like the 2000s.
Yeah, it's just been unbelievable. I was in awe and completely humbled by the whole thing. I just couldn't believe it.
With the convention circuit, has it completely like kind of changed your? Has it really like changed your life?
Yeah, it's changed my life for sure. Doing like just doing conventions and then doing independent films again, for sure.
What's the number one? What's the best independent film that you're most proud of?
Well, one that's not even out yet that I filmed starting in 2007, and it's still not out. It's called Beg, B-E-G, and I pulled in Jamie Lee, PJ Souls, and I pulled in Tony Todd and Michael Berryman in it because we're all friends, and I pulled them in on the movie and I produced it also.
Can you go in a little bit of detail of the plot lines for Beg?
Yeah, it's I have the lead. I play a detective that is really famous in the Boston area from about 10 years before that. I found this notorious serial killer, and I became pretty famous in the area. And then 10 years later, there's another notorious serial killer on the loose, and killing women, beautiful women, of course. That's the horror genre. And it's driving me crazy, and I'm drinking and popping pills and stuff, and I can't find this new serial killer.
We need a serial killer who goes around killing beautiful, handsome-looking pretty boy men, and it'd be like a female serial killer. And we need it like done seriously, not like an independent movie that no one watches. You know what I mean? Because I'm sure somebody's made that, but I don't think it got picked up and went very mainstream. But maybe somebody should make that film.
That's pretty funny. Although it just wouldn't have any interest to horror fans, because especially with the male audience, because they're looking for R-rated horror movies that of course show beautiful women in their bodies.
True. I mean, I guess we could just show off the the gorgeous looking hunky men and their unbelievable pecs and abs. Because that's the complaint I get a lot from horror female fans. It's like, where's the female serial killers? I'm like, there's, Night of the Demons, and you got Bates Motel. Vera Farmiga's crazy on that. Did you see the remake of Halloween?
No, and I won't.
Really? Why?
Well, I don't believe in remakes, and it's a remake of my movie. Why would I want to watch it?
Just to see what the other perspective of the film is?
No, I don't. It's like if you're a painter and you paint a painting, you don't have to do it again. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So why watch it? And I'm a fan of the zombies. His music and his movies. I'm a big fan. But no thanks. It was already done. It was done. There's no reason to see it. I have no interest in it.
Have you seen any of the sequels to the Halloween movies?
No, I haven't. I only saw Halloween 1 and 2 because that was the only two movies I was involved with.
The massive box set comes out probably within a couple days of us having you on the air, and they have released Halloween probably, I don't know how many times, on DVD and Blu-ray over and over and over again. Do you always get a kick out of how many times it keeps coming out in like different formats?
Yeah, well, it's kicking it, but it's also humbling. It's a real humbling thing for me. I mean, it's just awesome because it started off as just this low-budget independent film, and it just hit everything on the mark, and so it blew up, and it's just humbling to me.
What has been the most unusual convention experience for you?
I get asked that a few times, a number of times. There really hasn't been anything really odd, or either that or something. A lot of odd things happened, but I just didn't think they were odd. I've never really had any really strange things happen.
No, like obsessed fan or anything crazy that you saw or have happen?
No, not really. No, I mean, there's, you get that crazy fan stuff where they're sweating or they're crying and stuff, that doesn't seem to me as odd or anything. I mean, it's, blows me away, but it doesn't, I don't find it like odd. But, the fans are the greatest. They're so great. They're so great, So nothing really unusual that, happens or odd happens.
Maybe I'll edit that question out and I'll rephrase it this way. What's been the most unusual piece of merchandise you've ever had to have signed?
I did a girl's butt.
I hear that a lot.
Yeah, I did it. Not the boobs, but I did a girl's butt. Yeah.
Did she have it tattooed on afterwards?
And I no, she just wanted me to, sign her butt, so I did. She dropped her pants down to her ankles, had no underwear on, and I went at it.
Sounds like an excellent time for a horror star like yourself. A lot of times, those people usually get that get like a signature tattooed onto them, so they have it permanently forever.
I do that a lot, but I also, if there's tattoo guys that have boobs, I also not only sign it, but I ink it myself for them.
That sounds cool.
It's a blast. I have an absolute blast doing it. I've done it, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 times now.
It's going to be like 15 discs, have every single film, which is the first time they've ever been able to get every film together in one box set.
Oh, that's cool.
Just in time for the new one to come out and not be included. I guess that it's going to be a lot of carried over bonus material from the previous DVD and Blu-ray release from last year, as well as another new commentary and new bonus material. And it's like, how much more about Halloween don't we already know that you guys are putting into this, like umpteenth million release of the film?
Yeah, people love it.
It's just funny they keep finding more and more material to put on there for, the next disc release. Do you have any Michael Myers merchandise hanging around your house?
No.
No?
No.
Do you try not to hold on to any of that stuff if people give it to you?
They don't really give me. Well, no, I do have. Oh, that's what you mean. I mean, yeah, I've got some paintings.
Yeah, paintings, comic books, books, toys.
Yeah, I don't have any toys, but yeah, I do have paintings and stuff. Yeah, and comic books, masks or anything like that, or
Yeah, no, you don't have like a William Shatner mask hanging around, right?
Right.
Shatner's going to be at a convention coming up in November, the Rhode Island Comic Con. I have no interest in meeting William Shatner.
Me neither.
For anyone who's not a super horror buff and wondering why we're mentioning William Shatner in a Halloween interview, William Shatner's Captain Kirk mask was the likeness used to create Michael Myers' mask in the original Halloween.
Right.
Something I heard Shatner wasn't too happy about, but whatever. He's a millionaire. He doesn't really need to complain about small potato stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly.
So, well, Tony, we appreciate you coming on the show and talking to us about Halloween, the movie. If there's any kind of unique story, any kind of interesting little thing that happened on the set, during the the couple months worth of filmmaking that you could share with us before you leave, that'd be cool.
Yeah, I didn't. My agent and I didn't even know there was a mask involved for me to wear.
Ah.
And I didn't know that until after I signed the contract and got onto the set. And the girl came up with the coveralls and the Army Airborne, boots, and the mask and a jar of Vaseline.
Yeah, I heard there had to be used Vaseline to slip that over the head.
I said, what's the mask for? She goes, you got to wear it. I'm like, oh my God, Because I figured a couple of weeks in the drive-in was all this movie would do, And I said, so, what's the Vaseline for? She said, yeah, you got to put it in your hair because it's 100% latex. It's like Velcro when you rip off the mask. Oh my God. So that was an interesting thing for me.
Gotcha. Well, again, Tony, we appreciate you coming on the show with us to talk a little bit about Halloween, and we look forward to seeing you again at an upcoming convention or at Count Orlok's Nightmare Gallery, which you will... Again, thank you so much for coming on the show with us, Tony.
Okay, thank you very much, pal.
All right, have a good day.
You too.
Bye.